I went through our office in Alexandria.
Such a big crowd here this evening. This is honestly one of our favorite meetings of the year when we get to celebrate our Bobcats. Let's hear it for those Radford High School Bobcats. We're so glad you all could join us for council this week as we get rolling here in September. And we'll begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. So if you all will please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. And at this time, we will ask that you join us in a moment of silence. You can use that time for silent reflection, for prayer, to prepare for the meeting, however you choose to use it. Thank you all very much. Council members, you have minutes from August 11th, which was our last regular meeting, and then we had a special meeting that ended up getting altered just a little bit from a retreat to a closed session. Is there a motion to adopt the minutes as presented for the August 11th, 2025 meeting, or are there changes that we need to make?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And for our September 2nd meeting, approve as submitted or any changes?
Approve as submitted.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, at this time, we will open the floor for citizen comments on public matters. We will ask that you come down to our podium, use the microphone, state your name for the record, limit your comments to 3 minutes or less, and I think we're just about ready with our timer here. There we go. And we will begin.
Mayor, before I begin my time, can I ask you a procedural question?
Yes.
May I ask you questions and have you respond, or is it something where you would just prefer to listen?
We would prefer that you make your presentation. After you're finished, if we have a response, we have about a minute where we could respond and go from there, but it is unlikely we're going to get in a back and forth of a question and answer period. If we feel like there's something that needs to be an extended presentation or discussion, we'll revisit that at a future meeting.
Okay, I'd like to reclaim my time. I'm just joking.
That's fine.
So my name is Steve Fry. My wife and I have a home solar system in Radford. We've had it for the last 10 years. When we put our system in place, we followed all the permit rules the city had in place, and we purchased with the promise of net metering, the process that allowed us to save kilowatt hours and use them from month to month as needed to pay our bills. I would like to make 3 points this evening in my 3 minutes. First, there is no written board-approved policy on home solar panel rules or net metering. Who made the decision? I was going to ask you that, but I'll just throw that out. Who made the decision to change the net metering process from yearly to monthly? I'm assuming it was a staff member, but we'll go from here. Shouldn't the city council be making a policy that raises the cost of electricity for its citizens rather than an administrator? Mr. Meredith, a few hours ago, assured me that there is going to be a process in place to develop a policy. The City Council should direct the administration to return to a yearly net metering policy, in our opinion. Then it should ask the director of the electric department and the city manager to craft a comprehensive policy for the council's consideration. Council should get input from the public, vote on a final product, and communicate to shareholders before changing the billing process, which happened before where we were billed. The process had been changed and no one notified us anything about it. Let's see, solar decisions should be made in accordance with council policy. Council policy should not be made on a make it up as you go along process. The city should go back to and begin this process and work completely through it correctly now. And Mr. Meredith assured me that that was going to be happening. We have shared information with the city I'm going to go fast now because time's flying, regarding the benefits of home solar generation, the fact that the State Corporation Commission debunked Appalachian's Assertion that solar owners do not pull their weight in supporting electric infrastructure. They do. Appalachian Power was ordered to maintain yearly net metering and the base fee. Radford should not be an unfair outlier in the state. Again, we should also maintain the yearly net metering process we've had for at least 10 years until a planned policy is created. Third, it's wrong for the city to take the energy generated by the citizens and profit from that energy. Every individual has a different size solar array. Every home generates different amounts of energy. There is no rhyme or reason to taking different levels of kilowatt hours from all the different users and saying it meets an infrastructure goal. You stated 2 hours ago, Mr. Mayor, that the goal should be around $25 for the base fee. I don't know if that's going to be part of the plan coming forward. We'll see what you develop. What percentage of a person's bill? Any home? Can I take 10 seconds?
5 more seconds, finish up.
Well, as a municipality, so basically, as a municipality, Radford has broad latitude to make solar construction and fiscal decisions. You have the right to make policy, but you have an obligation to do what is right. Be fair and ethical. Allow us to apply the energy we generate to our current and future bills. Don't take our energy for your own profit and economic needs. And I know that there is a motivation because of the situation with the finances in the city.
We appreciate you coming forward and speaking with us this evening. Thank you
Right.
very much, and we'll respond after we get through all of the comments. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Hi,
Hi.
I'll start the clock. My name is Nancy Brussois, and I am a member of the Parks and Rec Advisory Commission, and I serve as liaison to the Radford Dog Park. And the reason that I am here is to ask what's going on with the dog park and to offer you support of residents who want to also get it up and going. I know our dog park patrons would like me to share a few things about the park and the dog park community, which is quite vibrant, by the way. Before the hurricane closed the park, we estimate approximately 200 households used the park. Most of them were Radford residents. However, many of them came from around the NRV. And during the summer months especially, it was not uncommon to have visitors coming to the park off of I-81 because Radford Dog Park is on Google Maps and it is on Dog Park app. So we were being visited regularly by people traveling through. Our regulars and our visitors alike generally agree that our current dog park location and grassy setting is beautiful, and it is conveniently located on the Riverwalk. Many of our patrons would walk their dogs before or after visiting the park, and most importantly, use the park and the walk to the park to meet and socialize with other dog owners. You know, this is quality of life for many, many people. And for this reason, we would like the dog park to remain part of the Bissett Park system and not be relocated elsewhere where we cannot connect with the rest of Radford. Also, for 2 years before the flood, our patrons began working together to improve our dog park experience there. We created a dog community bulletin board outside of the dog park where we posted about services and businesses and things going on that were dog related. We also created a dog supply swap box. It's kind of like a free little library for dog supplies. That was a huge hit. And at the time of the flood, we were also organizing our second Halloween fundraiser / costume contest to raise funds to build a covered shelter in the small dog area, which has no amenities whatsoever. Unfortunately, the flood interfered with that, but it didn't weaken our spirit. Quite honestly, those of us that use the dog park, we miss it. We miss our dog friends. We miss our dog community. And I still have folks contact me for updates and how they can help, move this along. Now, I do understand that some people have already contributed, and we just want to know, what the heck can we do? How much money do you need from us? We will help fundraise it, whatever.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. We'll get it. Give us 1 second and we'll get this reset. Do you have something you wanted to hand us to begin with? Why don't you bring that to us while they're getting your clock
Okay.
reset? That'd be perfect. And then you can start again.
Invitation to a special event at the
Thank you so much.
You might find this interesting. There will be a lecture on September 27th. Also, a free giveaway of a outdoor easel in the library you can sign up for, and
Okay. So for those that may be watching online that couldn't hear, there's an event on September 27th, Radford Park's dialogue between art, science, and nature that'll take place at the public library, and hopefully you can join down there at 1:30 p.m., September 27th.
And who was this young lady?
Yes, ma'am. Your name? Jan Knipe. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Fred Singer. I'm a relative newcomer to Radford. I've only lived here for 36 years. My wife and I came from Minnesota. We immediately loved the community and the physical environment. And then when Cindy and I retired 12 years ago, we decided to stay because we liked it, at least for the time being. A few years later, we decided that we liked being retired at Radford too, so we would extend our stay. And at that point, we made some life decisions, one of which was to invest in solar power. And I will tell you from a financial standpoint, it's a terrible investment. You shouldn't do it. You know, you put up $40,000 or something like that, and you get it back in dribs and drabs over the next 20 years, and by the time you get it back, inflation has eaten up most of it. So it's really not a great investment financially. We knew this going in. My wife taught math at the middle school for many years, and I can do a few equations here and there. We knew by producing solar power that we were reducing stress on the grid, so we felt there was something we could do for the common good. We did the math, and even though we knew it was a bad investment, we knew we would be able to bank the excess energy and that was produced during the summer and then use it to help defray our costs during the winter. Now, until recently that's been the case, but then Radford changed the policy and no longer allows us to bank surplus energy production to our winter months. And I don't know why. You know, I'm not politically involved. I don't know what went on. I do want to say why I think this policy is a bad idea, why changing the policy is a bad idea. First of all, it's going to discourage anyone else from getting solar arrays. I've had a lot of people come by my house. I'm in a through road, and my panels are rather conspicuous since they're right on the side that faces the road. And they just stop and chat with me, and I guess I'm not so scary, and we have a nice little conversation. And I'll usually encourage them to get solar panels, although I will warn them that not a great financial investment. Because of the good it does for the environment and for the grid. The other thing I want to mention is that it will also stigmatize Radford if we get rid of this policy or if we continue this changed policy as being a place that's not particularly supportive of environmental initiatives, and I don't think that's a good thing. People move here and stay here in part because they love the environment and it's important to them. So anyhow, Radford's still a great place to live. And city officials work hard to keep it that way, and I appreciate that. I think they made a mistake in adopting a policy that unfairly takes money away from, or takes resources away from someone, that these resources really don't belong to the city. Fortunately, it's not too late to change the policy, and I really and truly hope that they will step up and do what's right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any comments that they would like to make on the public matters? Okay, seeing none, we'll close that portion, and we will have just a minute or so for council to respond. And I'm actually going to ask Todd to help us with the response on the solar piece, because as Mr. Fry alluded, there was a message that was sent later this afternoon in response to some of the questions that were being asked. But I know this is a complicated issue, and it's a unique piece because Radford owns its own municipal electric company as opposed to AEP, a major corporation, or Dominion Power, other companies in Virginia. And so we're working through this and go from there. But Todd, would you like to share anything related to the message that you shared with Mr. Fry and the other owners? And if you'll grab your mic and make sure you're on. Press your green button. Press your button to make the green light come on. There you go.
Okay, am I on?
Yep.
All right. So thank you for your comments on the solar power. We did send a message out this evening. So the root issue with solar power is that it constitutes the use of the electrical grid in the city of Radford. There's a cost for providing that grid, maintaining that grid. And right now, the city estimates that really each customer should be paying about $25 a month for the maintenance of that grid and the use of it, even people that are on solar. We are working on a policy that works both. We do want to promote the use of solar energy. We're working on a policy that will promote that and ensure the fiscal stability of the electric utility fund. So.
And so it is a work in progress. I don't think we have an answer for today. We are working through that, and we will revisit that subject. Council, do you all have anything else you want to state about solar power?
Not about solar power, but I just want to thank Nancy for coming. I serve on the rec commission with her, and I will work on getting some information for you, and hopefully I can bring that to the commission about where we're at or what potential steps we could take. So thank you.
Yeah, and I was going to say the dog park piece, and if there's anything else solar-wise, I want to make sure everybody had a chance to respond.
Well, I just wanted to say that I have, and I think all of us have been reading all of the emails that have been coming in, and we're all interested and want to get something fairly done. It's just been a matter of, with everything else we've got going on, it's in the list of things to get to, and we certainly will.
On the dog park part, I know we're trying to figure that out with Rec Commission, Parks and Rec, and Administration. There's still a lot of work with Helene that needs to be done throughout the entire riverfront area, and that is a big cost for the city. We're not there today, and we're trying to figure that out, but we are trying to figure out what can happen. I love that dog park. It is one of the neatest things we did in the city. We've had to replace the fence at the dog park 5 times in 12 years because of flooding. And so that may impact the ultimate decision for whether we keep it where it is or move it further down the riverway or whatever that looks like. But that was becoming a little bit of a challenge to have to come back because we've had such extreme weather in the last decade since the dog park opened in 2012 to try to address some of that, and it seems to just take out that fence every single time. So it's a big challenge. Anything else regarding the dog park? I know Seth's going to try to represent us and take care of that part of it for us with council.
So what I'd like to recommend is that we get a list of the names of the folks that are actually on the board, and they're the folks that are wanting to roll their sleeves up and get some work done on it, and maybe we can meet with them as a city and let them know what the costs so far that we're receiving are. So maybe we can work together, and if there's a fundraiser option and they are wanting to help us do that work, then it's not such a heavy lift all around. So
Pull that group together and maybe do a joint meeting with Rec Commission with that group, and we can have that discussion and go from there.
thank you so much for bringing that to our attention.
Any other responses to citizen comments? Okay, we will close that portion of the meeting and move on. We are very fortunate to have Radford University's Vice President for Economic Development, Angela Joyner, here. Dr. Joyner has a presentation that she's going to share for us this evening. So welcome. We are thrilled to have you.
Thank you. Good evening. While the presentation's pulling up, I just want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity this evening to share just a couple of not only updates that we have at the institution, but also how the community can connect with Radford University. One of the things in our role, and I try to say it very simply, is our office is here to connect the community to the university and the university to the community. What I'll share tonight won't be exhaustive about all of the things that you can connect to at the institution, but at least representative. So one of the things that we know and what we love to do is have our students, our faculty and staff engage in volunteer activities within the community. Over the last few years, when we looked at our impact study, our students and our faculty and staff put in over 7,000 hours of community service. That is everything from our Radford Gives Back, where we have students packing backpacks for Bobcat backpacks, or for food drives, some of our students participated this weekend and to fall into the new or Martin Luther King Day of Service. Our women's lacrosse team and our women's basketball team this weekend supported the Bell Heath Color Run. And so oftentimes we put our athletes and our fraternity and sorority folks out into the community so that they have the opportunity not only to connect with Radford, but also to give back. The other areas around community engagement, there are things that are available at the institution. So the planetarium last year had over 2,000 visitors. 1,000 of those visitors were students from our K through 12 institutions in the region. The Museum of Earth Sciences. Our visual and performing arts have performances which will start kicking off later this month. Many of those are free to the community and are in several of our venues across the campus. They also do venues outside of the campus, whether that is with our theater, our dance, or our music. The university offers and hosts summer camps. Camp Invention, which is a STEM camp. We have summer camps, whether that is athletics, soccer, softball, or basketball camps, as well as bridge programs for students. And those are open to the community and typically get promoted or advertised starting in January. Our McConnell Library is open to the public, and those hours typically are during the semester. They're open later than the public library, but you can use your library card at our library to check out books, and our librarians are very happy to be able to help you with research and other finds within the library. It is also a favorite place, which I don't have on here, that hosts our Tartan Tales, which is our pet therapy program, and that program is opened up to the community. So that is dog training with a partner so that they can be therapy dogs on campus at student events, and so we can share that information as well. The other thing that we do is help small business support, and we partner a lot with the Radford Chamber of Commerce as well as the Economic Development Authority. We launched the hub at Radford, which is on the corner of Tyler and Main, which used to be an old bank. We often have people come and look at the safe and look for the old deposit boxes. But essentially, it's an economic development center, and we offer programs, support for small businesses. We recently held a work session with our professors in the College of Business in collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce to help small businesses learn how to create social media using AI. And it was a very popular session, and we've been asked to do it again at other places, and so it's one that we will continue to identify what the needs are of the businesses and then how can we support them in the area. The other project that we did this spring was having our students look at Main Street and work with a local developer and really look at something, Taylor Hollow, and look at a couple of their properties to identify what are some opportunities and ideas that could be in some of the storefronts that are on Main Street. They came up with several design concepts as well as presented those to City Council and other members of the community, and we hope that that will continue to be a project that we move forward with in the future. And then finally, in terms of small business support, we do partner with the Small Business Development Center and our other partners within the New River Valley to bring in sessions and invite other people to the area to provide services and support for our small businesses in the area. We launched this summer Co-works at the Hub. It is a co-working space which is opened up for small businesses and entrepreneurs. So folks that may have been working out of their home with their small businesses but want to have a place to meet with bankers or have a place where they can come and plug in. We have offices as well as co-working spaces, the ability to use printing and have that opportunity. We have several members that are already using this space. We've had people drop in from out of town, seeing that there is a co-working space in Radford in between on their way. We had several people during Labor Day weekend who was visiting family but needed a place that had strong Wi-Fi and they could print and do their business meetings. So we're looking at other ways to expand these services at the Hub, and so that is in that same building. In that same building, we also have a certification center. So we knew that There is not a testing or certification center between Wytheville and Roanoke, and so with the help of a Go Virginia grant, we opened up a certification center with support of Pearson VUE. We can offer over 5,000 exams. Many of those that we started offering were IT, but we've had everything from real estate to the FFA, TSA, Secret Service exams, and we do that on a daily basis. And I have the QR code here, which I will make sure gets shared with council so that those that want to make an appointment or check out exams, they can do so using that code. The other thing that I'm really proud to be a part of is our Joint Commission. For those that aren't familiar with Joint Commission, it is a commission that is a makeup of both the City Council as well as members of the university. And our goal really is to find ways for us to work together on projects that are mutually beneficial to the city. We know as an institution that our success is based on the success of the university and of the city and vice versa. We've been working on a framework of how we can think of projects that could come to Joint Commission that we could bring back here to City Council as well as to the university's board on things we may do together. The 5 areas that we identified was economic development and innovation, community vibrancy and placemaking, so how do we make people live, love, and learn and stay in the city of Radford, outdoor recreation and tourism and development. We are on such a beautiful river and have an opportunity to not only increase the usage of that river, but also all of the other amenities, whether that's Wildwood Park, Bissett Park, and some of the other things that we do as an institution. We take people out on excursions, we take our students throughout the New River Valley, and the more that we can get them connected, the more that we want them to stay. We recently hosted our new tradition called Highlander Float, which is taking our first-year students floating down the river so that they can get connected to the community. So we had almost 200 students floating down the river during what we called Labor Stay weekend so that they would stay in the area. Knowledge exchange and community engagement. This is our opportunity to share whatever knowledge that we have, research, opening that up to the community. And then finally, collaborative governance and sustainability. We are very invested in what sustainability looks like, not only from an energy perspective, but also the town and the university being sustainable for over years to come. And so we get together once a month to talk about opportunities, barriers, and how we can work better together as collaborative partners as we move forward. One of the things that we have been working on and talking through is a potential amphitheater that could drive economic impact in the city, both for our restaurants, our businesses, while also showcasing local acts and bringing acts that could come through the city. We're still in early stages, but really excited to be partnering with the city to understand what those opportunities could be. And then finally, Radford Community Fest. We are thrilled to have, we now will call it an annual community fest. It was very successful. We had over 100 vendors, 7 food trucks, a lot of volunteers, both on the student and the community side, and we're really excited to invite people to drive them and see everything that the city has to offer. Our fraternity life hosted a kids zone out of their own funding and did research on what that could look like. And so we are very pleased with that. And I'll show you just a quick video in just a second highlighting that community fest. And then finally, I will also leave this so that we do have a calendar that we have been working very hard to integrate. One, so that you have the ability to see all of the events on campus that we have to offer. We have an open campus. Our dining halls are open to the public. Our parking is free after 5:30, 5 o'clock, I think it's 5:30 every day. And then I also have a QR code to our Radford Athletics calendar. So we would love to see you coming out at any of our events as we go through the rest of the year. And so with that, we're going to try and show this last video, really short video on the highlights from this year's Community Fest. The pressure. I apologize. It's really
good, I promise.
The window to the left?
Yep,
Got it.
hold on. It's technical. There you go.
Yeah, when you feel alive, no time like the present. Yeah, when you feel the burning rush, I won't forget it. Now I'm on the lookout for something I ain't happy for. Yeah, when you feel alive, I want a first class ride on the highway to the sky. On the way up in the night, I'm gonna drive that world away tonight. On the highway in the sky, past the city lights, I'm gonna drive that world away. First class.
So we've been really excited about it, and we look forward.
I'm telling you one more time. Step out of the vehicle. Okay.
How did you pick me out of all the people? That's what I don't understand.
On August 13th, 2020.
This was not part of Community Fest.
Technology works when technology
It
works.
does.
And not a part of the presentation. But this does conclude my report. I really appreciate the time and being able to share all of the opportunities. We will make this available so that folks have it. And if there's ever any questions, please feel free to reach out to
Dr.
myself or
Joyner,
Nicole.
thank you so much for a wonderful presentation, and I know everybody on council wants to thank you and add some comments. Kelly, you're our co-chair for the Joint Commission. Would you like to share some thoughts?
Sure. It's my honor to serve on the Joint Commission. It's one of the many things that excites me as part of being, a part of Radford and being able to see us work together. And we really have revamped the entire purpose and choices that we make and the reason why we're doing it. RU is such an asset to us. And I had asked Angela to come and, just give a presentation now that they had gone through making that and making those choices and solidifying our goals are and where we wanted to go. And she did an amazing job, and I wish that the community would utilize all of the things that RU has to offer. They have an exceptional library. There is plenty of parking that's free. You can use their restaurants. There's plenty of things to do and events to go to, and I think we should all do it, and I thank Angela very much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody else have anything they want to share?
I was just going to say thank you for coming, and I know that we had a great time at Community Fest. It's obviously taken off and is a new good event for the city, so thank you for all the hard work with the Joint Commission and everything that went into it, so thank you for that.
Yeah, and that's great information. There's a lot of stuff in there I didn't know that actually the community could do at the university. Can we get copies of that?
Yes.
Okay, presentation, because I'd like to have it.
Well, I'm just glad they didn't get a video of me carrying all my packages to the car. I was a little worried about that. Just to hit a little bit on something that Angela mentioned that's very exciting is the amphitheater. So that's something that we've been in discussion with RU for, it feels like forever as things go, but I guess it's been a year and a half, 2 years. And they are being an amazing partner in trying to get us a nice location on the water to be able to hold not only local music and performances, but also something for a much broader scale to bring folks into the town. In fact, they said that their goal is to create more of a festival environment so people will come, eat, and spend the night. So again, thank you to that particular board. I appreciate all the input and your investment in the city, and I look forward to our next meeting.
And I'll just say thank you once again to Dr. Joyner and to Nicole, who's here this evening as well from the Hub. There's so many exciting things happening. Full disclosure, I do work at Radford University. I have an opportunity to participate in some of those things as an employee. It is truly a symbiotic relationship between the city and the university, and it is a family. And like many families, we don't always get along 100%, but we all belong together, and we succeed and rise together. And so I'm excited with all the great things that we have to experience currently and coming up. So it's good stuff. Thank you so much for the presentation. And, you know, Kelly, thank you for serving on the Joint Commission. And Jesse and Kelly, thank you all for serving on the Amphitheater Commission as well. This is one of the best meetings of the year. We've already had a lot of great information to start with and a lot of good conversation. But we get an opportunity tonight to celebrate Bobcats. Bobcats of all kinds who have done well throughout their different activities at the high school, Bobcats who have achieved at the state level. And so we have a number of proclamations to read. So we're going to do it this way, and I ask that you be patient with us. I think we're going to read through all of them first, give a little applause after each one, and then approve them all at once, and then we will call up each group individually for a picture, and I think that'll be the most efficient way for us to work through this. So having said that, first of all, congratulations, Bobcats, and we will start with Seth with our wrestling proclamation.
All right, City of Radford Proclamation, Radford High School Wrestling. Whereas the Radford High School wrestling team had an outstanding season, with 2 wrestlers placing first and many others achieving high individual placements. And whereas the Radford High School wrestling team members showed incredible determination, flexibility, and persistence in practice and participating in competition. And whereas many of our Bobcat wrestlers achieved an individual state championship honors, including Taven Williams, first place, 165-pound weight class, Cole Barton, first place, 175-pound weight class, Maggie Page, third place finalist at 152 pounds. And whereas the no-quit mentality and stellar performance of these athletes over their wrestling career at Radford High School is an example of exemplary athletics in Radford. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of Radford, Virginia, do hereby offer the highest congratulations to the 2025 Radford High School wrestling team members and coaches for these distinguished accomplishments, making the City of Radford very proud.
All right, thank you, Seth. And let's hear it for our wrestling teams. Great job. Now, again, what we'll do is we will approve all of these here in just a minute after we read through them all. Then we'll call up each individual group for a photograph while we present you with your proclamation. And I have the honor of presenting the next proclamation for Radford High School indoor and outdoor track. Whereas Radford High School has long enjoyed great success in track and field events in the VHSL for both indoor and outdoor sports, and whereas the Radford High School track team members and coaches continue to work diligently to compete and improve, and whereas Essex Williams achieved an individual state championship in the 300-meter indoor track event and first in the 200-meter outdoor track event, and whereas Essex Williams, Trenton Carter, Mecky Martin, and Javier Wade came in first place in the 4x800 meter relay, and whereas many of our other Bobcat outdoor track members achieved top rankings in the state championship, including for boys outdoor track, Essex Williams, placed second in triple long jump, third in triple long jump. For the girls, Raylan Adams, third in discus. Cora Mosby, second in the 3,200 meter, third in the 4x800 meter relay. Lily Hyatt, third in the 4x800 meter relay. Olivia Close, third in the 4x800 meter relay. Abigail Castleberry, third in the 4x800 meter relay. And now, therefore, we, the City Council of Radford, Virginia, do hereby offer the highest congratulations to the 2025 Radford High School indoor and outdoor track team members and coaches for these distinguished accomplishments, making the City of Radford very proud. Can we have a round of applause for those students? Okay, Guy, you have swim and dive announcements for us this evening.
I'm turned on. Particularly happy to do this one since I've had a son help coach in the past, and I've had 4 grandchildren that have swam on the on the team. So a proclamation, City of Radford, Radford High School Swim and Dive. Whereas the Radford High School Swim and Dive team members participated in many events in the 2025 season, including the state competition, and whereas the Radford High School Swim and Dive team members showed incredible determination, flexibility, and persistence in practice and participation in competition, and whereas Trent Hollingsworth achieved an individual state championship in 100 butterfly and first in the 100 breaststroke, breaking both 2A and 1A record holder, and was named All-American 2025 in the 100 breaststroke, ranking 81st out of 100. And whereas Trent Hollingsworth, Ben Marinaro, Ian Mayer, and Sam Kondabarani placed first in the 400 freestyle relay event, and whereas Jill Grimm achieved an individual state championship in the 1 meter diving event, and whereas Eva Grimm achieved an individual state championship in 100 backstroke event, and whereas many other Bobcats women dive team members achieved a top ranking in the state championship, including Jill Grimm, second in the 200 medley relay, second in the 400 freestyle relay. Eva Grimm, second 200 medley relay, second 200 freestyle relay. Toddy, is it Taddy or Toddy? I'm not sure. Bernier, third 100 butterfly, second 200 medley relay, second 400 free relay. Shelby Jones, third 50 freestyle, second 200 medley relay, second 200 freestyle relay. Allie Mayer, second 200 freestyle relay, second 400 freestyle relay. Peyton Mowry, second 200 freestyle relay, second 400 freestyle relay. Trent Hollingsworth, second 200 medley relay. Ben Marinaro, second 100 freestyle, second 200 medley relay. Greg Vinson, second 200 medley relay. Ian Mayer, second 200 medley relay. Whereas the Radford High School Swim and Dive girls and boys team placed second overall, and whereas the Radford High School Swim and Dive team program has worked hard for years to help students develop and succeed, now therefore, we, the City Council of Radford, Virginia, do hereby offer the highest congratulations to the 2025 Radford High School Swim and Dive team members and coaches for these distinguished accomplishments, making the City of Radford very proud.
Let's hear it for our swim and dive. These cats can swim. We're going to come back to, yeah, go ahead, Guy.
Coached by Heather Rowland.
Yes, they are. Congratulations. And we're going to come back to Seth to talk a little bit about boys soccer. So Seth, take it away.
City of Radford proclamation, Radford High School boys soccer. Whereas Radford High School has long enjoyed great success in boys soccer throughout the years, and whereas the Radford High School boys and girls soccer team members and coaches continue to work diligently to compete and improve. Whereas in 2025, the Radford High School boys soccer team advanced to the state quarterfinals, and whereas the first team boys all-state recognition goes to midfielder Enzo Puglisi. And now, therefore, we, the City Council of Radford, Virginia, do hereby offer the highest congratulations to the 2025 Radford High School boys soccer team members and coaches for these distinguished accomplishments, making the City of Radford very proud.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Okay, we're going to turn to tennis, and Jesse has a proclamation regarding our tennis team.
Whereas Radford High School has long enjoyed great success in boys and girls tennis throughout the years, and the Radford High School tennis team members and coaches continue to work diligently to compete and improve. Whereas in 2025, the Radford High School boys and girls tennis team participated in state quarterfinals, And whereas Lydia Pratt finished first in the individual 2A finals, whereas the doubles team of Lydia Pratt and Kiera Sarton were runner-up in the 2A girls championship, and now therefore we, the City Council of Radford, Virginia, do hereby offer the highest congratulations to the 2025 Radford High School boys and girls tennis team members and coaches for these distinguished accomplishments, making the City of Radford very proud.
Outstanding. Kelly, you have our choir proclamation.
I do. City of Radford Proclamation, Radford High School Choir. Whereas the Radford High School Choir participated in All-State Honor Choir, and whereas the Radford High School Choir showed incredible determination, flexibility, and persistence in preparing for performances, and whereas in addition to the overall choir success, individual members of the Radford High School Choir were invited to attend the All-State Honor Choir. These members include Mickey Barron, Seth Barron, Colin Barron, Jay Anziani, Alex Bernathy, Kate Deshawn, Gavin Myers, and whereas the Radford High School Choir program has worked hard for years to help students develop and succeed. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of Radford, Virginia, do hereby offer the highest congratulations to the 2025 Radford High School Choir for their distinguished accomplishment participating in All-State Honor Choir, making the City of Radford very proud.
We have one more proclamation to share this evening, then we will approve all of them and invite our teams up. This is for Radford High School Forensics. Whereas the Radford High School Forensics team members participated in the state competition and placed second in state at that event, and whereas the Radford High School Forensics team members showed incredible determination, flexibility, and persistence in preparing performances and participating in competitions, and whereas forensics is a competitive acting and public speaking and serves to elevate and amplify student voices in our community. And whereas, in addition to the overall team success, individual members of the Radford High School Forensics team made personal achievements in the areas of, first, in serious dramatic interpretation, Catherine Wowinski; first, humorous duo interpretation, James Reif; first, humorous duo interpretation, Colin Barron; second, original oratory, Frankie Jones; second, in storytelling, Mickey Barron; second, in serious duo interpretation, Summer Fisher; second, in serious duo interpretation, Seth Barron. And whereas the ultimate goal of forensic events is to provide students with an opportunity to develop confidence in their ability to communicate ideas and points of view, and whereas the Radford High School Forensics program has worked hard for years to help students develop and succeed, now, therefore, we, the City Council of Radford, Virginia, do hereby offer the highest congratulations to the 2025 Radford High School Forensics team members and coaches for the distinguished accomplishments, making the City of Radford very proud. Let's hear it for our forensics. Council, these are amazing accomplishments. Do we have a motion to adopt all of these proclamations? We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Congratulations, Bobcats. Let's begin. We're going to ask, we have our members of our school board and our superintendent to join us. We're going to move down to the floor. We're going to call up each of our groups, and we will begin with wrestling. So come on down front, and we'll take your picture.
We graduated 16 seniors last year.
Let's get everybody to squeeze in just a little bit here. Squeeze in a little bit more. We will make sure we get that point. So tennis, we have our tennis folks here. Choir, we have some members of our choir here. We are so proud of all of you. Come on down. You're in the center stage. Anybody else with forensics? Oh, I was right there. Let's hear it one more time for our Bobcats. Best night of the year. While folks are filing out of the room, I just want to say thank you as well to our superintendent and our school board members who could join us tonight. Prior to the meeting, we had a special work session where council and school board talked about a number of issues. We looked at an overview of the Radford City Public Schools 6-year strategic plan. We reviewed some of the 2024-25 accomplishments from that academic year. We generally talked about how well the academic year is going, including scheduling, programming, and other activities. We did discuss some of the school capital needs and an update to the plan with RFPs that'll be coming before long, and we'll have another meeting at the end of this year, beginning of next year to discuss that. And we talked about finance and sustainability because that's on everybody's mind, and we're all part of the same team working toward these things. So a really great meeting, and I want to say thank you to our school board and our superintendent for that, and go Bobcats. We're proud of you all. We have another great resolution here. You know, we are so proud of our local businesses, and they do an amazing job pulling things together and making things happen. I have a resolution here for Super Game Station, their 10th anniversary in business. Whereas the City of Radford celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and the community. And whereas Radford supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve neighborhoods. And whereas Super Game Station was established in 2015 and has been at its current location on East Main Street in Radford since 2018. And whereas Super Game Station specializes in the buying, selling, and trading of video games, along with servicing of gaming systems and equipment. And whereas, in addition to the bricks and mortar shop, they have found great success in online sales with customers all over the country and the world. And whereas Super Game Station cultivates a community of video game enthusiasts in the East Main Business District, and whereas they have become a destination for people from across the Commonwealth, Maryland, North Carolina, Tennessee, and more looking for rare and unique items related to video games. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Radford City Council encourages all citizens to join Super Game Station in celebrating their 10 years in business. Can we have a round of applause for John Yemen? So, Council, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt this resolution. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
John, come on down front. Council, you all can join us, and we'll celebrate John with his wonderful opportunity. Come right here in the middle. John has worked tirelessly in building this business and making it really a model for many of our businesses to find success in Radford. Do you have anything you want to say?
The city's been very welcoming and awesome since day one. It's given me the best job I could ever ask for, best career I could ever ask for, and I hope to be here another 10 years.
There we go.
Hey, John? Yes, sir. How'd you get started in it?
My brother, family, we played video games when I was a kid, and
It's been a love of your life, huh? Okay.
yeah, passion for it, right?
Thank you.
Okay, we're moving on to new business. This has been a great
Art,
evening. Oh,
I'm-
no,
I'm
hold on. I
sorry.
got more to do. I
Thank
jumped
you.
out of order. I got excited. I'm sorry. We do have proclamations for several upcoming important activities, and we are looking at Constitution Week, Patriot Day, and our Tribute to Heroes celebration. So, Guy, I believe you have our Constitution Week proclamation.
I do. Proclamation Constitution Week. Whereas September 17, 2025 marks the 238th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention, and whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to the magnificent document and its memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate the occasion, and whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 17th through 23 as Constitution Week, now therefore be it proclaimed by the Council of the City of Radford, Virginia, that the week of September 17th through 23 be known as Constitution Week, and we ask our citizens to reaffirm the ideals and the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through this guardian of our liberties. Remember that lost rights may never be regained. I move that we accept this proclamation, Mayor.
Thank you, Guy. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, thank you, and we will make sure that we share this. I know our good friends, the Daughters of the American Revolution, usually take a copy of the proclamation. We'll make sure we get that to them. It is also Patriot Day coming up on September 11th, which commemorates the lives of those who passed in the 2001 terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center in New York City. Kelly, I believe you have a proclamation for us.
Proclamation, United States Patriot Day. Whereas in the United States, Patriot Day occurs on September 11th of each year in memory of the people killed in the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attack. And whereas on September 11th, 2001, the first responders of New York City demonstrated the true meaning of the word hero as they went forward into known danger to help and rescue others. And whereas in the aftermath of the attacks, President George W. Bush proclaimed Friday, September 14th, 2001, as a national day of prayer and remembrance for the victims of the terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001. And whereas Joint Resolution 71 designates September 11 as Patriot Day and requests the President to issue a proclamation each year regarding the observation of Patriot Day and to display of the U.S. flag at half-staff in honor of individuals who lost their lives as a result of the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. And whereas the City of Radford is blessed to have the same caliber of heroes in our first responder community, and whereas this year marks the 24th anniversary of these terrorist attacks, the loss of life and damage that these terrorists caused formed the biggest act of terrorism ever on United States soil. Nearly 3,000 people died in the attacks, and the economic impact was immense. Now, therefore, it be proclaimed by the Council of the City of Radford that September 11th, 2025 be known as Patriot Day in the City of Radford, and we call upon the citizens of Radford to remember and honor those our nation lost and recognize the tremendous heroism of the first responders. I would like to make a motion to adopt this proclamation.
Thank you, Kelly. We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. A motion and a second. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you so much. A really important day and an important remembrance. And part of what we've been doing the last few years, and when I say we, I mean us as a community being led by our Rotary Club as well as the Radford Heritage Foundation, is recognizing heroes. And the Tribute to Heroes display has been going on since Memorial Day at Glencoe Mansion, and we are really fortunate that we will have a closing ceremony on September 11th in conjunction with Patriot Day, starting at 5:30, and Jesse has a proclamation regarding that for us.
Tribute to Heroes. Whereas our community is strengthened by the selfless dedication and courage of those who serve and protect, often putting the needs of others above their own. And whereas the heroes we honor today include police, sheriffs, fire, EMS, dispatch, veterans, healthcare professionals, and volunteers who have demonstrated extraordinary commitment, compassion, and resilience. And whereas their contributions have made a lasting impact on the safety, well-being, and spirit of our community. And whereas Rotary's mission of service above self calls us to celebrate those whose lives embody this principle. And whereas the members of the Radford Noon Rotary, with the collaboration of the Radford Heritage Foundation, honored those heroes by displaying the Tribute to Heroes flags on the Glencoe Mansion lawn from Memorial Day 2025 through September 11th, 2025. And whereas the Radford Noon Rotary will be hosting a closing ceremony at Glencoe Mansion Lawns on September 11th, 2025, beginning at 5:30. And now, therefore, we, the City Council of Radford, Virginia, do hereby proclaim September 11th, 2025 as Tribute to Heroes Day and call upon the citizens of Radford to remember and honor our heroes and to participate in the closing ceremony on September 11th, 2025. I make a motion that we accept this proclamation.
Thank you, Jesse. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you all very much.
Before we move along, I do want to add, because I have been asked where the proceeds from the purchase of the display of the flags, where that money is going to. So I want to give some information on the beneficiaries. The money goes to Radford University scholarships for students from Radford High School, Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, Polio Plus, Eliminating Polio Worldwide, Vittles for Vets, Glencoe Mansion, Radford Fairlawn Daily Bread, Elf Shelf, Women's Resource Center, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, Beans and Rice, the Wheelchair Foundation, Wonder Universe Children's Museum, Shelter Box, and Sunset Park.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much to Radford Noon Rotary. Thank you to the Radford Heritage Foundation and to Glen Comanche and to all involved. We're so appreciative of all of that.
I'm sorry, they are hard workers. I got to give them some applause. Thank you guys so much.
Now moving on with new business, and I got my act back together here. We are very fortunate to have Christy Straight from the New River Valley Regional Commission who's joining us to talk a little bit about our hazard mitigation plan, which is a comprehensive strategy to reduce the long-term risk of future disasters by identifying hazards, assessing vulnerabilities, and developing specific actions to protect life, property, and infrastructure. We've had a risk assessment, a capability assessment, and a mitigation strategy, as well as we've planned maintenance procedures, and it's a requirement for certain FEMA grants. So the goal is to prevent repetitive damage cycles by creating a more disaster-resilient community. So Christy, thank you for being here. I know you've got a presentation for us.
I do. Thank you all for inviting me to present this to you this evening. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of teamwork, so I'm glad to share what all of that has brought to pass and what that opens up for the future. It was 24 months to pull all this planning process together and bring everyone to the table, so we'll walk through that. I want to start with defining hazard mitigation. Helene has really taught us a lot, I'm sure, about what that is. But I wanted to stress that it's different from response and recovery. You know, those are in the moment and getting back to whole in the recovery process. Mitigation takes recovery one step further and makes you more resilient the next time it comes around. So talking about the fence in the dog park, I mean, that's a perfect example of where mitigation starts to pay off, and it sounds like that's what you all are doing. Hey, we've replaced this 5 times. There's got to be a better answer than always doing this and coming back to the same difficulties, same challenges. So that's what mitigation is about. The benefits of participating in the plan, I wanted to hit on those because it's the project list. It's super important, and that's one of the key pieces moving forward. And that's what the approved plan makes you eligible for FEMA's mitigation funding that becomes available annually. But it's also a planning process, 24 months, that builds collaboration and partnerships across the region, because this is about 13 localities participating and a few other members, and I'm getting to that one. But it also builds it internally. Sometimes some localities have departments who they focus on what they do, and there's not a lot of interaction, but this helps build that, because we have to talk about what's going on across the city, across the county, not just in the planning department. So we have emergency managers sitting on this steering committee that I'm going to tell you about, as well as our planners. But the plan itself, it's that data gathering process to define the risks and the impacts of these hazards that are most impactful in our community. We're not talking about tsunamis. We don't put a check mark next to that box. We put a check mark back next to flooding and to wildfire and drought and things like that, because that's what affects us. That's the data we dig into. So it informs our planning processes, and we also draw on those others. We look at your comp plans. We look at any other activities you've got going on that inform our plan or could be informed by the mitigation plan itself. And then the bottom line to all of this, the biggest benefit, it protects the community's investments. It protects residents, it protects their property, it protects what they invest in as a community through the city. So I talked about the 13 localities, but it's also a few more folks. Radford University also participates in our plan and has adopted it as their own as well. We get a lot of support from FEMA and the Virginia Department of Emergency Management. They've got a planner dedicated to helping us meet the requirements, but also advising us on some best practices we might not have seen that are coming across state and federally. Virginia Tech participates. I also want to highlight the National Weather Service. Some folks know we have a Blacksburg office, and that is a gift to this valley because they made such a huge contribution. They come to every steering committee meeting, they give presentations on here's some of this data, here are the things we need to be thinking about, and they bring a level of expertise that I, as a planner, do not have because they are scientists and they understand this stuff so well that really helps us make good decisions. And this is where we arrive at. This is what informs the mitigation that comes to pass, the hazard rankings. Our highest hazards are severe winter weather, high winds, and flooding. And when we say severe winter weather, that's the ice storms, high winds are included in that, but not really because that happens all year round, but that is a factor in the winter. But it's freezing temperatures, snowfall, and the ice storms that I mentioned. I want to make sure I got them all because we rank them separately, and they all rated highly, and we said, well, it all happens in the winter. Let's just put it together just for the sake of clarity. But wildfire and drought are medium-level hazards, so they have an impact, not as severe as those first three. And then the 5 at the bottom of the list, even less so, but still a factor. Still things we want to think about and evaluate. What level of investment would be required to mitigate those? Because some mitigation actions can give you a really effective result for a low investment, and maybe it's worth investing in. That's something that communities can take this data and decide if that's the case, so we include them as well. Some highlights and changes that we've seen in this plan. We got a lot more community engagement, which was always really exciting to me to see folks taking an interest in responding to our surveys and giving us their feedback on what they're seeing in the plan. In fact, with the hazard rankings, we kind of asked folks, we said, well, what is most impactful in your life? Which hazards do you really feel when it happens? And I think we got 900 responses. This is so many. I'm a planner. 900 is very exciting. But 900 folks said, well, it's severe winter weather, it's flooding, it's high winds. So that tells us the data is aligning with what we're really seeing in the community. So always gratifying when we can all coalesce around an idea like that. Annually, we're going to update. The state is working with us to do that on a more structured basis, so that when things like Helene hit and we're prepared, we've got the structure in place to come back and visit the plan and make sure that what you need when you submit to FEMA is in our plan, since that is a requirement for their end of things. And then the plan has expanded consideration of the needs of vulnerable populations and their resiliency. I mention that just because every year we try to do some more with the plan and build upon what we've done in the last update, and getting a better handle on what are vulnerable populations in our community and what challenges do they face. So we reach out to those service providers that also work with them to give us some insight and think about mitigation in terms of that. So mitigation projects, I mentioned that earlier. This is the list that you all developed to say, what can we do to be safer, to be more resilient, to protect life and property? These are projects that have been completed in the past. It's a really good list, and obviously, not surprisingly, flooding hits pretty hard on every single one of those projects. So I'll leave that there for you to read through. Those are completed. Some projects are still in progress. These are all included in the plan. And then that way, if somebody says, well, we need a little more funding to take a project across the finish line, if it's in the list, it's eligible for funding, and then it just competes on that basis of whatever the funding source is, whether it's national or statewide, and in that respect. So these are in progress. Work is proceeding on those, again, flooding, but also some that cover all the bases, really every hazard that you're vulnerable to. Radford's most significant hazards are flooding, drought, and wildfire. Is that right? Yes. So just to share that with you when you see drought come up here and think, are we really drought? Because there aren't a lot of farms in the town, but water supply is a concern. You need to keep track of that availability. These are the ones that aren't in progress, but are on the list as funding and other resources become available. Those are ones to pursue for you. So I'll highlight that, and then I think, yeah, that's all I have for you, but I'd be happy to entertain any questions you have, and thank you so much for making the time.
And thank you, Christy, for your presentation this evening and all of your work and all the staff work that has gone into this. I know this has been a crazy weather year. The last 12 months have been quite remarkable in the city, even with several years of things, but the last 12 months have been something else, and flooding has been one of the major pieces, so we appreciate all of that. Council, do you all have any questions for Christy or anything you want to add?
I think you explained it very well, so yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, we are fortunate that we do have partners like the Regional Commission. I have an honor of serving on that board, but partners to help us work through all of this, because these are massive, massive things to try to figure out and to study and mitigate and to get money to help us do some of this work. So we are fortunate to have that. We do have a resolution to adopt the hazard mitigation plan. So we will entertain a motion to do so.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Motion to second. Any discussion based on the presentation or the plan? Okay. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much. Okay, at this time, we need to call up one of Radford's truly wonderful citizens and employees and directors, Scott Gardner, with his team, with the Heritage Foundation. They're bringing forward the Memorandum of Understanding between the city and the Radford Heritage Foundation and all that takes place at Glencoe Mansions. So Scott, first of all, thank you for all you do. It is always a Herculean effort to do all the things that you take care of for us at Glencoe and with the Heritage Foundation, and we're excited to hear your annual report and to present the MOU.
Okay, well, thank you, Mayor Horton. And I do have to joke, you've said multiple times that this is the best meeting of the year, and I figured it was because I was giving my report, so. But yes, so, ready? You're not going to play any videos after my presentation, are you? Okay, well, thank you, Mayor Horton, City Council, and City Manager Meredith for your time this evening to review the work of the Radford Heritage Foundation for the second half of 2024 and through the first half of 2025. And first off, we just want to thank you for the support that you provide for our operation. We truly appreciate all you do to help us to further our mission to preserve and promote the history of Radford and the surrounding region. And I'd also like to extend a special thank you to our council representative, Jesse Foster, who goes above and beyond fighting for us and really building up our museum over the years. And we strive to be an asset for the city, making it a destination, both for the, Lord, I got so excited, I just went ahead. Yes, so thank you, Jesse. So we do strive to be an asset for the city, making it a destination both for people who call it home and for those visiting us. And I just have a few images showing people using the site. So we do have our new teacher luncheon each year. Weddings take place at Glencoe, and we do host our field trips. But the Radford Heritage Foundation is a member-based nonprofit organization that is responsible for the operation of and the stewardship of the Glencoe Mansion site. And we view the site as a comprehensive unit that works to improve the quality of life in Radford and to advance Radford's development into the future through tourism. And looking at this map, you see the total Glencoe site with the Glencoe Mansion at its center. But complementing that, we also have the Mary Draper Ingalls Cultural Heritage Park that has the statue of Mary Draper Ingalls and the New River Train Viewing Observatory. And adjacent is the Glencoe Field, which is under the purview of Radford Recs and the Radford Rec Department. But we also have the Field of Honor, now called A Tribute to Heroes, where we display the flags. But I just wanted to highlight that all of these work together in concert to make the site a great community center for Radford. And in addition to all of this, our organization has taken on the role as the acting visitor center for Radford. We now carry a greater collection of Radford and regional materials, and we also have Radford merchandise in our gift shop, including the Radford shirts that everyone wants. But basically, at the end of the day, Glencoe serves as a bridge to our visitors and to our community, and serves as a place where they can actually learn about what our city has to offer. And so we're glad to take on this role as well. But I always have to tell people, how does this all happen? And this is because of a dedicated group of people. So we do have a board of directors supporting a part-time executive director, that's myself, as well as 3 additional workers who receive a monthly fee for their services. And these include maintenance, overseeing our gift shop and gallery, and our social media. And underpinning all of this is a team of volunteers who give a tremendous amount of time, skill, and muscle power to make the whole operation work. It is truly a community effort, as every aspect of the site requires labor, as all of these images can attest to. But that work does go towards the broader community, because we did in 2024, work with Jesse Foster and the American Legion to help preserve the document collection that the American Legion was storing in their site. So we have rehoused those materials, and I do have an image right here of my intern in the bandana. That's Kylie Sater, a Radford University intern, and then my dedicated volunteer, Shirley Roby. You might ask yourself, what are they doing? They are ironing paper. So yes, we had to clean and iron the paper, but now it is all stored in proper housing so that it is not further degrading with time. But I also have a picture right here showing the Radford's Company M of volunteers. This picture was taken in 1917. This is part of the image collection that we are housing. And just a note as to where that picture was taken, that is basically where the Norwood Square parking lot is. So amazing how much and how little has changed over time. But our goal is to provide informative and engaging content and events throughout the year that draw people from Radford and beyond. And when we tabulate our numbers, we're calculating not only visitors to the museum, but also to our events. And one note about our figures, they are lower than what would truly be the case because we have no way of measuring the visitors to the Mary Draper Ingalls Cultural Heritage Park. And the other thing is that we are not including the Glencoe Field in the tabulations of these numbers. But in 2024, we had nearly 2,700 visitors. And from January to July of this year, we've had just over 1,500 visitors. And these include tourists, group visits, field trips, and event attendees. And indeed, events are an important aspect of our service to the community. The Mary Draper Ingalls Festival continues to be an important event and asset for our city as it contributes to economic development through tourism. It not only brings people to Glencoe, but it also brings people to our partnering sites, such as Longway Brewing and Ingalls Castle. In 2024, we brought over 2,000 people during the festival weekend, with over 700 of those visiting the Glencoe site. But all of these visitors visited local businesses. Some even stayed in our local lodging, and were thus contributing to the economic development through the meals and lodging tax. And so we are really helping the community in multiple ways there. Oops, I double-clicked, yeah. Or I think Melissa must have made my slide disappear. I'll just say, I'll save the notes on this for the last part. Yeah, no arrest videos, no arrest videos. Well, I'll jump to the Tribute to Heroes, which we already have the proclamation for. We're just really proud to work with Radford Noon Rotary to host now the third year of this project, and it has grown to include the Radford VFW as a very active partner. And another tremendous shout out to Jessie Foster for all she does to help us with that. But this project draws a lot of attention to the site, and each season we do have the opening and closing ceremonies for the display, and they truly are moving experiences. But this year, we're also celebrating the 150th anniversary of Glencoe Mansion. And sitting for 150 years in Radford, Glencoe has witnessed Radford's history. And so the house, when it was first built, sat on over 500 acres of land. All of that is now the city of Radford. So that leads to the fact that Glencoe Mansion is Radford's museum. We're telling the story of everyone who has played a role in the history of Radford and the region. And as part of our celebration that we had in March, we created an exhibit demonstrating 150 years of that history. And those images are still on display, and we do have the information about them. But I was going to have our council guess or tell me what this image is on the right. Okay, I don't have my Jeopardy music with me.
Looking at it, I would think that's one of the first school groups in the city of Radford, maybe the very first elementary school in Radford.
you're on the right track that it is a school and an early school. This is actually the Bell Heath Academy, established in the 1880s, and we still have a school bearing that name to this day. So I think it's just really neat to see that we've had Bell Heath students for well over 130 years.
Where was the academy located?
So this was located on 3rd Avenue.
Okay.
And they moved stuff around quite a bit. It moved all up and down 3rd
Well,
Avenue.
and then Bell Heath came back to 3rd Avenue before it went to its current location.
Yes.
So that's interesting.
Yes, yes. Another cool thing that we're very proud of working with is our collaboration with Radford City Schools. And so we were very excited to work with the Radford City School art teachers to host the art students' work at the museum. For this 2025 opening, we had a stellar turnout. And I just have to joke, our last opening reception happened when the Bobcats were playing the state championship. So our numbers were pretty low for that. So we were glad for not a conflict of events there. But the highlight of the event, you see in the picture on the right, was Ms. Gock's collaborative lightbox art installation that allowed visitors to glimpse an undersea seascape in neon colors thanks to the use of black lights and fluorescent paint. But Glencoe, oh, there's the Glencoe sessions. I'll just go right back to it. I will blame the gremlin that played that video.
Oh! Shots fired.
Sick burn. But in 2024, we partnered with Friends of the Blue Ridge and Addie Levy to host the Glencoe Sessions. The music series provides an intimate concert series where attendees can experience amazing performances by a wide array of artists. And in 2024, our 4 shows collectively brought 150 people to the site. And not only is this benefiting the community within, Friends of the Blue Ridge also filmed this and aired it on Blue Ridge PBS. So this went well beyond the walls of Glencoe. And now we are in our 2nd season of the Glencoe Sessions. We just had a sold-out performance of Addie Levy and the Avalanche. Amazing performance. And there are 3 more concerts to go. The next one coming up in October with Caitlin Crisco, but I already have to tell you it is sold out. So act fast if you want to go to November or December's shows. Please don't ask me. I should say just very talented artists. Actually, Wilma, do you have that poster? Yeah, who are the last 2 acts?
The last 2 are Island Reverie.
Yes.
Island Reverie.
Island Reverie. Yes, and I'll just have to say we get some amazing artists in, and some people who've heard that we're having Caitlin Crisco have asked how in the world did we manage that. So I had to give all the thanks to Addie and her connections. But all of the stuff that we do is, in my mind, very wonderful, but we need to make sure that people actually know about it. So getting the word out there is incredibly important. And so we not only bring attention to Glencoe and it's the whole site, but we also bring attention to Radford. And so we use a multitude of things to get the word out there. We post to social media 5 times a week. We also have literature, including our Glencoe Rack card and our Mary Draper Ingalls Cultural Heritage Park card. We have those at 5 official welcome centers in Virginia, and those are covering the entrances onto I-81, I-77, and I-64. This is a paid service, but it is broadcasting Radford into a larger area. In addition to that, we also have literature in 40 sites throughout the area. We also send press releases out about all of our events and to all of our New River Valley contacts. And then for our bigger events, we do send out, it's a paid service to the Virginia Press Association, so that gets distributed statewide to the media. We also have paid advertisements in a variety of media. And in 2025, we've had 2 ads in Blue Ridge Country advertising the Mary Draper Ingalls Festival and the new exhibit on Mary Draper Ingalls. So the question is, how do we support all of this? Our funding comes from a variety of sources. First, the support from the City of Radford is a critical component. In addition to this, we also utilize many other methods to raise funds and work toward our sustainability. We maintain a yearly membership, and in 2024, our membership campaign garnered 108 memberships, raising a little over $19,000. In addition to this, we also accept donations outside of membership. Through these donations, which are collected at the site, as special gifts, and online, we took in an additional $20,000 in 2024. And another important aspect of fundraising is our gift shop. And we view the gift shop as not only a fundraiser for us, but a way to also support the arts in our community. And in 2024, our gross sales were about $7,500, with $2,300 of that going to local artists who are in the shop. But another very important aspect of how we support ourselves is through grants. And I'll just mention a couple grants. The Commonwealth History Fund, this grant brought $30,000 to us. We matched it with $5,000, but it enabled us to add a stair lift between the 2nd and 3rd floors of Glencoe, which has dramatically changed the accessibility of the site. We were also able to add window coverings to the spaces on the 2nd and 3rd floors. These mitigate UV damage to objects, and so we are thus preserving our objects even better. And then we did also create a new exhibit and host a panel discussion on the topic of Reconstruction in the post-Civil War period. Just a lot of great things that came out of this Commonwealth History Fund. Another one that we just completed was the Virginia 250 campaign through the Virginia Humanities. This was a grant for $8,350, and this allowed us to develop the exhibit on Mary Draper Ingalls. It's called Mary Draper Ingalls Steps to Revolution, and it takes this famous story and places it within the context of the events that led up to the French and Indian War and ultimately to the American Revolution. And not only were we able to make the exhibit, we were able to host a panel discussion, an amazing panel discussion, I have to say. And that we also had the funding to film it, and we will be making that video available for the public. And we were able to create 1,000 booklets that we can distribute alongside the exhibit to get the story out there. But we're truly excited, and I also have to say daunted by the grant that we received from the Paul Brune Historic Revitalization Program. This is bringing $225,000 to Glencoe, and as Jesse always points out, that requires no match. We were among 33 applicants, and the Department of Historic Resources stressed to me how important the writing of the grant was to getting this award. So I just want to point out the effort that went into that. This grant is going to allow us to work toward further restoration of the building. It has aged a few years since 1998 when your grandfather was looking over it, and how significant now that you're here with this. But it will also help us with our accessibility and really making the site welcoming for all. But just a couple things, what's going on now? I'll just say we do have our new exhibit up. It's called Kindly Mirrors. It's an amazing photograph collection that was actually found in an attic in Floyd, a documentation of Floyd life in the 19-teens. And on the 23rd, we will be having a talk given by Ricky Cox that will explore these images and what they tell us. And then we've already kind of reviewed a couple things, but we will be having our Tribute to Heroes on September 11th with Radford Noon Rotary. That's at 5:30. And then we do have the Glencoe sessions. So lots of exciting things going on at Glencoe and the total site. So thank you so much for your support and for your time this evening, and I will answer questions should you have any.
First of all, thank you, Scott, and thank you to the Heritage Foundation officers and board. We could not be more thankful for all the work that you do to make all these things happen, to keep Glencoe going strong. Jesse, do you have anything as our council representative to the Heritage Foundation?
Well, I want to say Scott is such an asset to our community. You know, when he said that, you know, I'm helpful in a lot of the processes, I will tell you, he may speak gently, but he is purposeful. And when he says, Jesse, you have that right, then I have that task. So I just wanted to thank Scott, truly. You always go above and beyond to represent our community and history. I want to thank this board. I know I've said it before, but this board is a working board. They are very busy. The grants, I have to point out that those grants are going to be very transformational. We've been getting the smaller ones, which have made a big difference, but of course, the maintenance of the building does fall upon the city, and so with them getting the grants to help with that restoration, that's just a huge benefit to all of us. So thank you, and again, to the board for making sure that that's always the case. I wanted to mention the American Legion pictures very quickly. That was a labor of love, first started with the American Legion. As you know, we helped do some restoration there, and in their very wet basement, they had some very coveted pictures. I was very concerned just because of the state of the building and where they were being stored. Scott and I went to the American Legion, and we pried them basically from their hands because they are also very protective and historians in their own right, but we assured them that we would take good care of them and preserve them. So what I would love to do at some point, and I know Scott keeps promising me this, but I would love to have an exhibit just featuring the pictures that we were able to salvage from the American Legion. So
I think the 100th anniversary of our American Legion building is coming up in 27 or 28, so it might be perfect. I mean, that's a little bit of a
I won't
ways
make you
away.
wait that long, Jesse, for some pictures.
Would it be perfect to time it?
hear me that many years for that. So again, I just wanted to thank this whole entire board. You can see that it's a full gamut from education with our youth to, I know he's done work with senior citizens, you name it, they're out there, and thank you.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you.
I'll just add, Scott, you do a great job, everything that Jesse said, and the one thing that always strikes me is your passion and your knowledge, and you put that into everything that you do, and you're always prepared, and anytime, we don't have to ask questions most of the time because you've already given it to us, and I just appreciate the level of work and just dedication that you put into what you do. I know you care, and that means a lot. So thanks for all you do, and it was a great presentation as usual. So thank you.
Thank you, Seth.
Mm-hmm. And I probably should be ashamed to say this, but I spent more time at Glencoe in the last 2 months than I have in my whole 78 years. and I've really been impressed with what you do down there, Scott. You know, it's yeah, I'm impressed. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, without further ado, one other assignment that he gave me was to make sure that you all have forms so you can become members and help contribute. Because if he's one thing, he is a fundraiser.
Is that FUN?
That's right. He's a fun fundraiser.
Don't worry, Todd. I've got one here with your name on it, too. So, and then also the latest newsletter. I'm going to pass that out, so everyone has a copy of that.
While you're passing that out, do you have anything else for us before we consider the resolution for the MOU? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the MOU between the city and the Heritage Foundation?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. And before you leave, I was going to say, I'm signing it. Before you leave, come put your signature on it, and we're good to go, okay?
Okay, very good, very good.
All right.
I just thank you so much. I first of all just want to acknowledge my board and all my volunteers again. And thank you, Seth, for saying that about my passion. I am really passionate about it. I just have to say this is my 15th year at Glencoe.
You are part of the history now. There you go.
Yeah, I joked at the 150th anniversary that I'm 1/10
That's
of
right.
the part of
There you
Glencoe's
go.
history. So, yes, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott. Okay, council, moving on with some additional business. You know, we've been working to reimagine our city administration. We brought Todd Meredith on as our new city manager, and he's been working with some of the staff to rework some positions and to do some things. And we're still in that process. But as we go through that, we have asked some people to take on additional tasks and refocus. And as such, we think it's appropriate to propose temporary stipends to our current building official and the Community Development Director of Transit and the coordinator for that. So council, you all have ordinance 1821 for an employee stipend. Are there any questions regarding this? Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. And we are thankful for everyone for all the work that they are doing as we continue to move forward. Finally, on our agenda, we do have a vacancy on the Social Services Board, and Lisa Brocious from the New River Valley Community Services has interest in serving. And Jesse, I know the letter was written to you. What's your thought on this? You serve on the board.
She's certainly an asset, and I fully support her continuing on this commission.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve Lisa Brocious as the appointee to the Social Services Board. Do we have a second? Second. Any other nominations? All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Todd, what do you have for us this evening?
So, I would like to brag on staff. We've been working hard the last 5 or 6 weeks. We have weekly meetings, so every week, we talk about organizational culture, how to lean out processes to make sure that we're efficient. And we're starting to talk about service quality as well. So I want to brag on staff that created a statement of commitment. Proud of it's closing in on its final draft form. Staff, especially at the government, our city organization, that it's about the community and that we're constantly tending to staff has done a great job with that. They've been working hard the last 4 or 5 weeks. Projects, so I look forward to projects that we're taking on to do 2 things: quality and do it as with you all. Second thing, it was great to see everyone at Community Fest. Finally, the 2 things. So that's underway. That's going to be a huge project. So work is starting there. Finally, I was recently able to go for a ride along with Chief Holdaway, and it was a Friday night, and they were busy from 9:30 to 3:30, breaking their work. But I want to brag on Chief Holdaway for his leadership.
Amen.
Here. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Kelly, what do you have for us this evening?
I have a headache this evening.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm going to keep it short. I do want to thank Angela again for coming and doing that presentation, and I do hope that everybody goes to RU and utilizes all the assets that they have there. I wanted to let everybody know that McCarg is having a pop-up Bobcat gear sale that's going to add to our funds that we use throughout the year to do things. So it's on September 17th from 5:30 to 7. They will have boys and girls shorts from the littlest of Bobcats to the biggest of Bobcats. So come do that. And we also have tried something new this year. We do have an online store. The link is on the McCarg PSA Facebook page. Sales are going to be through September 19th, but they will not ship until October 3rd. So they'll be in your house a little bit later because the company makes everything in one batch. So they'll go out a little bit later. But if you need some more Bobcat gear for all of our games, come do that. I want to thank the school board for having an excellent meeting today. Those lines of communication are extremely important, and I think we made a lot of really good progress today. So I thought that was something that we all enjoyed and got a lot of feedback from, and that we can look forward to more meetings like that in the future. And Community Fest was, I could not stop smiling during that video. That event was well attended. It was well organized. I was there before, right before the sun came up, and Melissa and a few other people had been running the streets hours before I had gotten there. And it was just really says what community is for us, and Radford and RU worked really well together to get that done. And congratulations on the huge grant that Glencoe got. That's going to definitely make some amazing restoration impact for you guys, so that's wonderful. And I think that's all.
All right, thank you very much. Jesse, what do you have for us?
Very similar. I wanted to thank the school board for a great meeting. I think the more that we communicate, the more empowered we're all going to feel, and the more camaraderie and teamwork. So I really am looking forward to more of those meetings. And also, just take a moment. I know, Todd has had to roll in here hot, and we appreciate you. And I have said in the time that I serve this community, your hiring is the most important decision that I've made and that I will make, and we make a lot of important decisions. So that's how important you are to us, and how happy we are to see you sitting there in that chair. A little bit about our student success. As I was looking at all the students and all their awards, I can't help but think that, we are small, but we are really mighty. And I think that's the whole theme for our community. We may be small, but don't discount us. We are feisty and we are mighty. So just congratulations to all those students. A little bit about my meetings. This is going to surprise you not much. I had a Heritage Foundation meeting. Again, with the tribute coming up this September 11th, we've been meeting weekly. I certainly hope that everyone is there. We're going to have a section where we honor our military and veterans, but also there's a whole segment just dedicated to first responders. So please come out. We would love to have you. I like to tell about new businesses in the downtown if I haven't frequented them yet, and I go in because I truly try to get into all of our businesses. So I went into Beauty House. I don't know if any of you have been in there, but they do eyebrow threading, and face threading. It was something. So I have my eyebrows done. They dyed them, and I feel like I'm a new woman. So if anyone wants to go to a new business, yes, she is ready and eager, and she will tell you exactly what you need and take good care of you. I wanted to bring up as just a point of reference, I am on the New River Community Criminal Justice Board, and it is a board that, I'll be honest, I have not felt like I offer much in exchange, because most of the folks that are on that board, they're police officers, judges, people directly in the criminal justice system. So I'm not sure if that was something that I was volunteered, voluntold, nominated, because it's been 7 years. But I do want to say that I've reached out to our police chief, and I have asked him to perhaps attend the next meeting. And see what that transition would look like, and I don't know if it takes an act of council, but I do believe that we need to have a real voice at the table, and unfortunately, by the time I figure out their jargon, their meeting's over. So there's got to be someone better than me for that. And that speaks highly that I have not had a lot to do with the criminal justice system, so that's a good thing too. But thank you, Chief. I'll be seeing you at that next meeting. A quick little shout out to Volunteer Montgomery. It has been brought to my attention that we do have members on that group from Radford, and on the 11th, they have made baskets and they're going to deliver those to all the first responders in our area, which will also include our Radford folks. So, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Jesse. Seth, what do you have for us?
Yeah, I'll be brief and reiterate much of what's been said, and thank you to everyone who's came out and shared their thoughts with us. It's always a good night when we get to celebrate the Bobcats and all their many accomplishments. I think every single one of us enjoys that. So I do enjoy those meetings. The only meeting that I have had so far is with the Rec Commission, and I know that we're looking at some things. I will take back some of the issues with the dog park, see what we can look at. I know that's an ongoing issue. We're also looking to get the scoreboards for football. I know that, that time's kind of of the essence of that with some of the games coming up, and Helene did a number on us, but that we're working on that. I also just wanted to thank Todd again, and, we've had a lot of things that are transpiring and our ongoing events, and I know that we're preparing our response, and I am very confident in our leadership and the team that we have assembled to face any and all of Radford's challenges. We have some really good people around us, and we're glad to have you in our foxhole, and we'll continue to work there. Other than that, I'll be short. I had a great time at Community Fest, and I thought that everything went well. Appreciate all the presentations tonight, and that's all I got.
Thank you. Guy, what do you have?
Well, I'm not going to repeat all of those things, but ditto, ditto, ditto. I do have two things, though. Excuse me. Bobcat tailgate. The mayor and Seth and I had a table and represented the city there, and it was a great turnout. Kids were everywhere, and RU students were there, and it was just a good time, So if you missed that, you missed a good one. The other thing is, I guess I think it was the Radford paper, showed one of our residents that was appointed by our governor to a state committee. Kelly McCoy Mead was appointed to the Professional Standards Committee regarding Virginia sexual and domestic violence program. And I just wanted to congratulate her on that appointment. That's
Thank
it.
you, sir. And yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Kelly does such a great job with the Women's Resource Center and really helps us here in the New River Valley with victims of sexual and domestic assault. It has been an amazing evening. I hope you have felt that for those here in the room and those that may have tuned into our meeting. To be able to celebrate so many different aspects of this community, from our heritage and our history to businesses on our main streets, to the work that is done by staff and regional organizations to help make life better, to our amazing Bobcats. This is really a celebration of all the good things in Radford, and we've had so many wonderful events in the last month, from Community Fest to football games, the tailgate, all kinds of great activities. And this past weekend was a very full weekend. I want to say congratulations to Bell Heath for raising, I believe, $20,000 for their needs with their color run, and that was a wonderful event. And I also want to thank Melissa and Kim and the entire staff who worked on Renew the New for the city. And thank you to the Regional Commission for their work on that project. That is a river and shoreline cleanup. And boy, we needed it. It wasn't too bad, to be honest. We collected a lot of trash, but it could have been a lot worse considering all the weather issues we've had. But I am so proud of the hundreds, I think, volunteers that came out to help clean the river and renew the new and really celebrate our community. We have our challenges in Radford, but good things are happening every day, and it's getting better all the time. And with that, we will adjourn for the evening. We'll see you soon.
Where does the constitutional
Let's go on and give it to Kim. Scott, will you come up here for just a second?
I hope you're not calling me out for trying to steal the remote.